What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another edition of my Friday Night Smackdown review. And this was a pretty good, solid Smackdown. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they had some fresh stuff on there. Nothing was really too dull. Yeah, I couldn't think, but I'll probably remember when I get into it. So they kicked it off by having this incident. It was like the very first thing that happened was that Karrion Kross got into a car accident. They showed like the aftermath of it. You know, he's hurt. Scarlett, she's bleeding from her nose or whatnot. But yeah, there's been a car accident, and as they are attending to him, Drew McIntyre. So this is technically like a brawl, but it's more so just Drew McIntyre beating up on Karrion Kross. But yeah, nobody knows who's responsible for the accident, but Karrion Kross did get beat up by Drew McIntyre. At first, I thought they were saying it was Drew McIntyre who did it, but apparently it was just a random accident, and then Drew McIntyre basically took advantage of it by beating up Karrion Kross, and they had to separate him from Kross, and then that was pretty much it for both Drew and Karrion that whole night. Then the show officially started, and they kicked it off with announcing that they were supposed to be, like, the main event was supposed to be a fatal four-way to determine the number one contender for Gunther's Intercontinental Championship, and the four members would be the four participants, I should say, would be Ricochet, Sheamus, Solo Sikoa, and Karrion Kross. I'm trying to figure out. Oh yeah, that came on later. That comes later. But yeah, but they started off with the first match of the night, which is Kofi Kingston versus Sami Zayn. And before the match started, Kofi Kingston and Xavier they cut a little mini promo about them being the longest reigning tag team champions. I think it is at 480 days, if I'm not mistaken. But the Usos is dangerously close to tying it and then breaking it, because they are currently at 450. I think it's 450 or 452 or 53 days, something like that. But yeah, they cut that little mini promo, and then Sami Zayn got his marching orders from. They was back there getting ready for his match. He would get his phone call from Roman, and he kind of like threw Jay under the bus about what happened last week, even though technically, not last week, but this past Monday, even though this past Monday he told Jay not to get involved. But yeah, he kind of threw Jay under the bus. Jay then got his marching orders from Roman Reigns, and he told basically the same thing like he said Monday. He wanted. Though you didn't hear him, but it was basically applied that he said the same thing like he said Monday. He wanted Jay to make sure that Sami got the victory. And thus the match starts, and then which was a good match. It was decent. It might have been the super awesome way to start the show, but it was still I can still consider it a good way to start the show. And But Jay would listen to Roman, put aside his differences with Sami, and actually help Sami get the win. Though there was a little bit of controversy on that, and I'll explain later. Rey Mysterio would show up on SmackDown to talk to Triple H, to which he basically tells Triple H that everything going on Raw was with his son and Judgment Day, and the fact that his son keeps trying to goad him into fighting him. He basically said he couldn't do it no more. He's reached his breaking point, and he basically wants to quit. Though Triple H tells him, you know what, no, I hear you. Come to my office. Let's talk about this. We can figure something out before we before we go that route. We'll get the next match, which is Braun Strowman versus some local competitors. Nothing much to say here. He pretty much beat the hell out of them and won. The story here though is on his way to victory, Omos and MVP will be walking down the crowd, and basically after he won, MVP would basically tell him that Braun, make fun of him by or Braun Strowman calling him, because Braun Strowman calling himself the monsters of monsters, but he basically said that Omos is a better monster than him, to which Braun basically try to provoke Omos to get in the ring with him, and thus setting up the feud between the two. We got the next match, which is LA Knight versus basically Mansoor of the Maximum Male Models, who is now basically being run solely by Maxine Dupree. But yeah, he took on LA Knight, which was a good match to basically repackage and reintroduce him as LA Knight again, and then he won in a convincing fashion. To which LA Knight then basically pointed out to the crowd that he basically told the crowd off that he called them incels. I was like, oh god, that's messed up. But yeah, he basically told the crowd off, revealing that he still is very much a heel, and that he put in the whole locker room on notice. We got a match that was set up from earlier in the night where Roxanne from NXT, she was there to recruit her. I guess on NXT they Cora Jade and Roxanne has like this whole, you can pick anybody from the WWE roster, either NXT, Smackdown, or Raw, and I think Cora, I want to say I think she picked Sonya Deville, or it's something like that. I don't know who Cora picked, but I know Roxanne picked Raquel. She picked Raquel, and this is how this came about, because when she picked Raquel, Bayley and Damage Control showed up taunting her, saying that she should have chose Bayley instead of Raquel, and she said Bayley was her first pick, but Bayley's been on kind of a losing streak lately, so she decided to go with Raquel. This would get Damage Control upset, to which they told Roxanne she better have her ring gear with her, because they challenged all three of them to the match, which was Roxanne, Raquel, and Chauncey Blackheart. I forgot she was there too. But yeah, that came into this match, the fourth match, which is Damage Control versus Raquel, Chauncey, and Roxanne. I hope I'm saying her name. I've been saying Roxanne this whole time. I hope I'm saying her name right. But this was a decent match. It was good. This is one of the fresh things about it. Like she really shined here to still be an NXT star. She really shined on the main roster in this match. And I would love to see that more often from the Triple H regime of WWE. I would like to see not them officially being called up, but giving them actual televised SmackDown or Raw matches, just to add some type of freshness to it, even though they still NXT stars. That was kind of why I say it was like fresh and stuff and new. But there's other stuff that he did too that was fresh and stuff. But yeah, so it was a good match, but in the end, Damage Control. I think Bayley actually got the pinfall. She didn't. I don't know. I don't think she pinned Raquel. I think she pinned either Chauncey or Roxanne. But by far, this didn't damage Roxanne or anything. I know it actually elevated her and everyone involved in this match. We would go to the next match, which is Hit Row versus Legado del Fantasma. Not the main leader, but the two dudes that be with him. They faced Hit Row. It was a good match, good tag team match. Reunited the Hit Row that got there for Tasman rivalry from NXT. Yeah, it was just solid. I don't got nothing bad to say about it. And the guy there for Tasman with some underhanded tactics got the victory. Sonya was basically interviewed. Sonya Deville was interviewed backstage, and she basically cut a promo on Liv Morgan. Said that Liv Morgan's been handed every opportunity, and that Liv Morgan failed at every opportunity, and even retaining her title, losing to Ronda. As she was talking smack, Liv Morgan, who was basically at this point is unhinged and basically crazy about losing her title to Ronda, came back there and beat the holy hell out of Sonya Deville. Now, regardless of what you think about Liv, that promo right there actually did way better than what they was doing with Liv as champion. That actually elevated her better because now she's that, and so it's starting to show an edgier, darker, meaner side of her. She's not letting people talk crap about her. You know, she just basically like, oh, you talking crap, I'm beating your ass. And that's what Liv did. She beat the hell out of Sonya Deville and put her through a table, just like she did Ronda. Or not Ronda, but Liv, Lacey Evans. Then we get to the main event, which is Ricochet versus Sheamus versus Solo versus Karrion Kross. But hold on, there was a development because of what happened at the beginning of the show with the car crash. Karrion Kross would not be able to compete in that in the match, so his replacement ended up being Rey Mysterio, and this was Triple H's solution to Rey Mysterio wanting to quit. He basically transferred Rey to SmackDown, and Rey is now part of the SmackDown roster, and thus this match was a good match. I forgot that they was celebrating. I forgot Sami Zayn and Jay and Solo was celebrating Sami's win in the back, and Sami basically took all the credit for the win. But you know, Jay tried to interject, saying that he was the one who helped Sami win. Both Sami and Solo basically dismissed it because Solo said he didn't even see he didn't see it, he missed it. If Jay did something, he missed it. They were too busy watching Sami, and Sami was like, you know, why can't you just chill out, just get even though they told you missed the fact that it really was Jay, and but I just had to say that because I almost forgot about it. But yeah, this main event was a good main event. It actually elevates the Intercontinental Championship even more because they basically with Roman basically not defending the title as much, and he already got his next number one contender in Logan Paul. It gives more spotlight to the secondary titles like that. And Rey Mysterio actually come out the winner here. And now he's the number one contender, for the Intercontinental Championship. And will face Gunther, which is a fresh matchup. This ought to be a good matchup between the two. And then we got the information. They replayed Bray Wyatt's return, not in full this time, but just in clip-show form of Bray Wyatt's return. And then we got the official in-person return for Smackdown, in which Bray Wyatt came out. It was a weird promo. It worked. It was just weird. He came out. I wasn't expecting that type of music for him, but he came out and cut a promo. Just basically, I guess he's supposed to be like the Wyndham with Wyndham. He's like supposed to be close. This is like close to him being Wyndham, and he was just like thanking the crowd, telling the crowd that he lost everything, that it was the crowd, even though the crowd people, the fans was telling him that he saved them. With his performance and his, what they got from him, he said it was actually they who saved him when he was at his lowest, because he lost everything, his confidence, his career, everything. But then the lights would cut out, and a promo would, a video will pop up on the screen of Bray Wyatt's or the Bray Wyatt that had the mask on, saying that basically saying giving an ominous warning, saying everything is not what it appears, and you will find out soon what he means. This was a solid show. This was a solid show, and I enjoyed it. Even though Braun Strowman and Omos thing was okay, wasn't bad. But yeah, this was a solid show with fresh and things, fresh people getting matches and whatnot. You know, it shook up the format. This was one of the better Smackdowns. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Big ups. But you let me know in the comments down below what you thought of Friday Night Smackdown, and if you enjoyed this video, you hit that button right there for all of my WWE reviews. And if you enjoyed the video so much and want to support the channel, all you gotta do, guys, is hit those buttons, because it helps the YouTube algorithm and gets me out there to more potential tribe members, so we could grow this empire of tribe. I want to take over the YouTube landscape. And as always, hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content. But don't go anywhere, because you know I got more for you. Peace.